Because I will be able to stream it. That is so good to hear. So you all watching the replay. Great evening. Yolanda just gave a great testimony about being able to qualify her client, or potential client, and saved a lot of time and energy. So thank you for sharing that. What how so when the person said that they were not going to be ready to book until, you said, next year?
Yeah, they were saying probably next year, which kind of lets me know that they weren't not 100% sure if they were even going to book. And then they gave me a couple of date ranges, which also lets me know that they weren't sure. So that just let me know there's nothing that they're ready to do now. And then even if they do it, it may or may not happen next year.
Because
that kind of
be way different.
Right. And so they kind of let me know how much time and effort to put into it. And like you said, from last week, I just gave a general quote and some general information. And then I did say, when you're ready, I can give you more detailed information and a more detailed quote.
Awesome.
So that was great.
Awesome. Very, very proud of you. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Sharing that. That's excellent. All right, so tonight, before I get into my training agenda, I want to just open the floor to you ladies. And do you all have any questions, anything that I can help you work through, anything at all? And then I will dive in. Tonight, we're going to be talking about DMOs, so your daily method of operations, and tips and suggestions that I have to help you on your road to 1K. Bobby? Does that mean no questions?
I don't necessarily have a question, but it's been frustrating so far. I've had several people come to me with, quote requests, and I spend all the time and get them the quote and stuff, but it seems like actually bagging the quote has been my roadblock. And I don't know, I'll get them the quote within a week, and I aim to do better at getting them a quote within 48 hours of their inquiry. And then if they're not quite ready to book when I get them the quote, then I try to follow up with them in like a week or so. But then after that, it's kind of like, okay, well, I don't want to keep bugging you because you're obviously not ready, but I don't want to waste my time either. So what suggestions do you have for that?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I want to make sure that we're all doing is, are you setting expectations ahead of time? So when you're speaking to someone about their potential trip and you're having your initial travel consultation, number one, I would be asking, how quickly are you looking to lock in this vacation? So let's say I find everything that you want. How soon are you looking to make a deposit? Because similar to what Yolanda said, her person said not until next year. So she's not going to break her back in November working on building a fantastic quote for somebody who's not planning on making a deposit for another 2, maybe more months. One of the other things that I would say as far as setting expectations is to ask them how quickly they are wanting a response. So we ask a couple of things. We ask, are you working with another travel advisor? Have you started doing any research? How quickly are you looking to book? And then you can state, my current turnaround time is 72 to 96 hours, 4 to 5 business days, however long it is, right? Does that work for you? So that way you're letting them know upfront, I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to get back to you until a week from now. Some of them might say, oh, that's fine. I'm going on vacation anyway. I wouldn't have read your email for another 2 weeks. I've had somebody say that to me, and it was like, man, and I was stressing myself out trying to get this thing done. And she's not even going to read the email.
Sheesh.
So, right. So setting that expectation, even to know, how soon are you looking to receive this quote? My plan is to get it for you within a week. Does that work? Or is this urgent? Some of them may say, no, it's urgent. I'm looking to make a decision and I don't want the prices to go up. And some may be just like her. Oh no, it's no rush. So have you been asking those questions, those like qualifying questions at all?
No, because I haven't really had like any phone consultations with anybody. I've primarily been communicating through text or messenger.
Ah,
So like I'll send them the client intake form that's on our back office, and then I'll have them fill it out or whatever, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna look it over, and if I have any questions, then I'll get back with you, and then I just kind of ask questions as I need to, but I will incorporate phone conversations. And Kel Murgus is my support coach. So
mhm.
she did suggest to get myself on Calendly
Yes,
and schedule my consultations. That
mhm,
way it can be more of a professional, like, hey, this is my time, but this is the time that I'm dedicating to you for
correct,
this situation.
correct.
So I'm gonna start incorporating that.
I will not work on a quote until they fill out the customer profile form and they set a consultation with me. Now, I'll look over
Hmm.
that profile form before the consultation so that I'm coming in educated and I can give them, I have something in my arsenal where I present myself as a professional, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time pulling prices and pulling options until I hear their voice. Because what's happened in the past to me was people weed themselves out, the ones who don't want to fill out the form versus those who do. So you've already weeded out some people that would have been wasting your time. So now you have the people
Right.
who did fill out the form. The forms aren't super complicated. So now from those people, the ones who don't show up for their travel consultation, meaning I called you, you set the appointment for 12, I called you at 12, you didn't answer, and you didn't call me back within my grace period. Because I leave a voicemail saying, if you can call me back within the next 10 minutes, I'm happy to still accommodate this phone call. If they don't call me back, or text me later that they had some type of emergency, I'm for sure not looking over this anymore. So like those people weed themselves out who maybe they weren't
Right.
really serious. They were just kind of like poking around. But now that you're presenting yourself as a business and a business person, the wrong people are going to fall off because they don't want to they're not really serious. So definitely get on the phone with people. I don't know, my success rate when I started speaking to people on the phone versus when I was just sending text messages or inboxes years ago,
Hmm.
drastically different, drastically. So,
Yeah.
so that's going to be a big shift that I would encourage you to make. And in your Calendly, put the link for the profile form. So when people make the appointment, they have to fill out the profile form kind of in the same transaction. That's how I
Right.
used to have mine. So like it's in one swoop. You've made your appointment. Here's the profile form. I will not call you for this appointment if you don't send me the form 24 hours before our appointment.
Right.
And I stick to that. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, and I can put the link for the profile form into Calendly.
You sure can. You sure
Okay.
can.
I'm gonna swap over and start using IntelliSpark instead of that intake form because
Mhm.
it's supposed to be a PDF, like a fillable PDF, but I've not had any clients be able to actually
Oh,
click and fill it
no.
in. Like they have to, you know, type it in or
Yeah.
download it and do all this extra stuff. So I'm gonna swap over to IntelliSpark and go from
That's
there.
so interesting to me. Like I know some agents who it never works for them, and then I know some agents who it does work. So that's always
Mm-hmm.
interesting how that works out. What I will say is my limited experience with IntelliSpark, that thing is a game changer, you all. And
Yes.
IntelliSpark has a link that will take you right to your profile form. So you can take that link and put it in your Calendly or put it in your link tree or whatever, so people know
Right.
immediately they have to fill that out. That's awesome. Yolanda, I saw you unmute. Did you want to share your testimony again?
Oh no, I was just gonna say as far as being able to edit in it, if it's a PDF, one thing I just learned is that depending on the if it's Adobe or whatever, I know Adobe, there's a screen on your right that you scroll down to and you can click fill out and sign or something like that. So you can actually type into it if it's not already defaulted to type into it.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Awesome. 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 That's good to know. I'll be mindful to look for that because I did not know.
Cool,
Excellent.
cool.
Excellent.
I
Hey,
haven't started playing with it yet, but I'll
mhm.
definitely start here soon.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. All right. Hey, Portia, I see you. So before I dive into tonight's training, I just want to give you the space if you had any specific questions or concerns that I can address before we dive in. So I'll just give you a second to unmute in case you do. All right, all right. So tonight's training, we're going to talk all about daily methods of operation. One of the things that I can identify in some travel advisors versus others is who has a system for their business and who doesn't. Who has a daily method of operation and something that they stick to versus who's just kind of winging it. And granted, there are some people that are here and this is meant to be a hobby. There are some people that are here and they want, supplemental income. Some are looking for a full-time career. And so I love that we're all at different stages and different paces. There's no wrong answer, but I can tell you anybody who chooses to work their business as they would a business, or I even hear people say, work your business the same way that you work your job and like set a schedule and be intentional, you're going to win at a different level and at a higher level than the people that are just kind of winging it. So I have some things that I want to share with you all to keep in mind. Number one, I want you to set a minimum for yourself. And everybody's minimum is going to be different, but you have to have a standard where you say, I don't go to sleep until I've done this every day, or until I've done this every week. So maybe you're watching right now or you're watching on a replay and you don't work this business every single day. That's fine. You don't have to. But what is your minimum for the number of clients that you're going to reach out to? And I'm saying like potential clients. So whether you're going through your phone, you're going through your social media, you're looking for people that are talking about travel and you want to position yourself as the advisor that's going to book their upcoming trip, how many people a day or how many people a week are you committing to yourself that you're going to reach out to? I want you all to write that down. And I also want to encourage you to grow that number from 1 year to the next. When you're like right now, November 2023, at the time of this video, right, your number may be, I'm going to reach out to 5 people a week about booking travel. But maybe 6 months from now, you're going to say, no, my new minimum is 10. I got comfortable with 5. It's easy. I can do it with my eyes closed. Now my minimum is 10. So we always want to keep stretching ourselves and keep growing. But I want you all to set a minimum for yourself. Then once you've started booking travel, for those of you, and I know this is our 1K group, so some people in this group have not booked anything yet, which is totally fine. We're going to get you there. Some people are on their way to 1,000. So I want you all to also add to your daily method of operation or your weekly method of operations, contacting an existing client, as well as contacting a former client. And so some things that you can do with your existing clients, you can send them travel memes, getting them excited about their upcoming trip. You can send them tips and hacks and things that have to do with wherever it is that they're going. You can talk to your existing client about upgrades, about excursions, about chauffeur service, about let's turn your trip into a group trip. Who else do you know that needs to be on this vacation with you? All those type of things. So make sure that you're reaching out on a consistent basis to your existing clients. You also want to reach out to your past clients. That can be for referrals. That can be to submit reviews. That can be to book their next trip. That can be just checking in. How's the family? Happy birthday, happy anniversary, really keeping track. And this is not an advertisement for IntelliSpark, I promise. But one of the things that I was really impressed with was that CRM where they have those special date reminders. So if you have your clients uploaded, and if you're using IntelliSpark and you have your clients uploaded, you'll be reminded that, hey, your client who traveled to XYZ place 6 months ago, their birthday is next week. So maybe you want to send an automated card, or maybe you want to wish them a happy anniversary and maybe entice them to book an anniversary trip, right? Those type of things. So make sure that you've set a minimum for yourself. I also want you all to add to your list, make sure that you have a minimum set for yourself of the travel parties that you're going to plan every single month. Now, I don't expect people to do travel parties every day or even every week, especially not if you're working this business part-time. But at least once a month, could you do a travel party, whether at your home, at a friend's home, at a Starbucks, at a wherever, even online, could you host a travel party where you are promoting a certain destination, you are promoting a certain trip maybe that you've put together and you're the lead passenger, you're the Pied Piper, or you're promoting it for someone else. So I want you all to start looking at your calendar, especially as we go into 2024, and really map out, okay, what is my minimum? What am I going to make sure that I do every week, every day, every week, and every month so that I have the 2024 that I deserve to have? So in addition to, well, not in addition, next up, after you setting the minimum for your travel parties, I want you to set a minimum for Pied Pipers that you find. So this may be once a month, it may be once a quarter, it may be twice a year, right? But as you get into the groove of your travel business, I want you all to think, who can I reach out to that's going to bring me big business? There's nothing wrong with one reservation at a time. I'm not trying to say that there is, but as you all progress to $1,000 in commissions, and then you graduate out of here and go to your 5K group, and then eventually your 10K group, part of the way that you're going to get there faster is by doing group trips. And so that may be connecting with a fitness instructor of some type. It may be connecting with a business owner, a sales manager, somebody that has a following that you can tap into. My biggest group cruise to date was with a marriage counselor. I found her on Instagram, and she had a huge following, and it was kind of like a chickless experience for me, but I reached out and asked if she ever thought about doing one of her marriage retreats on board a cruise ship. And she said yes. Because the thought is, if they say no, the answer was already no, because we already weren't doing business with each other, right? So you have nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain if they do say yes, right? So who do you see online? Who's in your community? Who's in your network that has a big following already that you can create a group trip around, whether it's to Africa, Europe, Greece, a cruise ship? It can be, you might take over the Vegas Strip, right? Whatever the thing is, but I want you all again to set a minimum. So how many people are you going to reach out to book group travel next year? So I want you all to write that down. Do you all have any questions about what I've shared so far? If not, I'm gonna keep going. All right,
I
cool.
do.
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No
I was
worries.
slow hitting my unmute button. So with the travel parties, like, they can be in any setting or virtual if you have people in other places or whatever. So with that travel party, is it basically like you just explaining the trip that you've quoted and say, okay, well, here's the information, who would like to go, basically?
Yeah, essentially, yes. And
Okay.
I've done them different ways. The most effective ways for me has been where I am promoting a specific itinerary. So I've
Mm-hmm.
had a Virgin Voyages travel party about a Barcelona itinerary that I'm doing next year. So the entire conversation was around flying there, cruising there. We're going to go to these ports, and this is the experience, and this is what we're going to eat, and this is what we're going to wear, and this is the fun that we're going to have. It was that type of vibe. And so
Okay.
those targeted type of travel parties, very effective. Now you can also say, you know what, I'm going to do a travel party. I'm going to use Hawaii as an example because we did that before. And we're just going to talk about Hawaii. We're not going to tell people a specific day to go. We're not going to tell them a specific cruise line to go with. We're just going to talk about the Hawaiian Islands and get people so revved up and excited about it that they're going to come and book, whether it's land or sea. That works as well. And it's also cool. Maybe you experiment with different styles and methods and see what works best for you and your audience. For me, for
Mm-hmm.
sure, the more specific I get, the better the responses as far as people who actually book, you know.
Okay. Cool.
I have found
Thank you.
that, especially when I do it, you're welcome, when I've done them virtually, the more generalized the travel party, the more number of people show up, but the fewer who actually book anything. The more specific my travel party is, the fewer people actually show up, but a higher percentage of those people actually make deposits and book the trips and take the trips. So,
Quality over quantity.
yep, Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So next part of your daily methods of operations or weekly methods of operations is, what is your social media strategy? I want you all to think about a couple of things. Number one, who is your ideal client? If you're marketing yourself on social media, I want you to think about what social media platform your ideal client uses, because they're not going to be everywhere, right? Like if you have a certain type of person, like for example, maybe you're into family travel, so you're looking for multi-generations, or you're looking for people with children or caretakers, right? They may be in a certain lane. If you are selling using Virgin Voyages, adults only, you're not going to be in the same realm as the people that are looking for family travel, right? So I want you all to think, what type of travel am I wanting to book? Who am I talking to, and where are they? So that you can have your social media strategy. Are you going to post once a day? Are you setting the standard and the minimum that you're going to do one post a day? Or are you going to do, 5 posts a week? Whatever the thing is, I want you to really evaluate what you've done so far, evaluate where you want your business to go in 2024, and then let's set the bar. Whatever that bar is, let's set it, and then you hold yourself accountable that you're not going to go to sleep until you do what you said you were going to do for your business. Also, as far as your daily methods of operations, sending out marketing to your network, right? So whether you're using IntelliTravel's marketing department with your online newsletter or your email postcards, whether you're creating your own, whether you're doing text blasts, whatever it is, what is your minimum? Maybe set a minimum for your month is what I would do. I would say, okay, I want to reach out to 30 people a month. I'm not going to reach out to one person a day. That would drive me bonkers. So I'm going to divide that 30 a month, and I'm going to divide it into 2. And I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to work on for 2 separate weekends, one day, one Sunday, every other Sunday. Sorry, let me make this clearer. I'm going to reach out to 30 people in a month. I'm going to break those up to 15 people at a time. The first Sunday of the month, I'm going to reach out to 15. I'm going to give it a week to do those follow-ups and those connections with people, because I don't want to be bombarded with 30 responses. And then the third Sunday of the month, I'm going to reach out to the next 15 people and do my marketing. And so that's what I'm going to do. But I want you all to look at it and say, okay, this is how many people I want to reach out to every month. So maybe I need to reach out to a certain number a week, or split it up twice a month, or maybe you want to do it once a month. There's no wrong answer, but you got to do something. So this is all about deciding what your daily methods of operation are going to be surrounding your business. And the last thing that I want to share, it's not specifically travel related, but it's sales related, and that's mindset. And that's really allowing yourself to grow and personally develop as a travel advisor. So educating yourself and pouring in and strengthening your mindset. So I'm going to suggest that at least once a month, you are diving in and reading some type of personal development book. And I don't mean reading once a month, but like one new book a month. One of my favorites that I've been getting into now to help me sell is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I love this book. It really gives great tips. I'm not going to speak that over myself. It gives great tips on how you can interact with people and really put yourself in a winning seat when it comes to whether it's strangers or even people inside of your network. So I would suggest finding a book that's going to allow you to strengthen your skill set in this travel industry and as a salesperson, and then also set yourself a standard for the education that you're going to do on the travel side of the business. So I don't take travel classes every single month anymore. I used to when I was here. I was just doing them back to back to back, and then I was burning myself out. So now I have it set where, okay, Tiff, I want to take classes every other month. But for you, it may be 1 month, right? It may be every other week, whatever the thing is. But every other month, I want to take some type of educational course to strengthen my skill set so that I can come, number one, and pour back into the large organization that is in teletravel, right? I always want to be strong and growing that way, but also for my business. So if it's CLIA courses, if it's getting certified with a certain travel supplier, if whatever it is, but again, set the tone, set your pace, and set your standards so that you know before anybody else does, you know what your goal is. Do you want to read 6 books next year? Then map it out so that every other month you're starting a new book. Do you want to get certified in 5 things next year? Map it out, spread it out across the entire year so that it's feasible and it's not overwhelming. And then with your education as well, do you want to attend CLIA's convention this coming April? Are you attending IntelliTravel Quest? Are you going to attend the pop-up events that are going to be announced at ITQ? There's a lot of things coming. And so you want to put yourself in a position where you're able to look at your business with an aerial view and really see these are the things that are my non-negotiables. These are the things I'm doing every week or every month. And these are the results that I'm going to get. Oh, yeah, this is the book. And I think it's backwards. I think the way my camera is. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Yolanda said I have that
found
book
it on
sitting on my
Amazon.
bookshelf. Oh, what'd you say?
I'm sorry, I found it on Amazon. It's only $10.
Yep. Sounds about right. Yeah, I absolutely love this book. It's I have a bookshelf worth of really incredible books that I can share. And maybe I'll start doing that as well because there's some techniques that I've gotten out of sales books and different things, but this is really for people that are like, I'm not a people person, or hey, just whatever it is. It's really, I enjoy this. I absolutely enjoy it. So that is the training for tonight. I pray that that was impactful and helpful to you all. Do you all have any questions about what you've heard regarding DMOs or anything else before we go? All right, all right. Well, that is it. I will continue posting the replays as soon as they are available. I want you all to know that we will not be meeting next Thursday because it is Thanksgiving, but I will put a different live date in place. So you're not going to lose the week completely. I just have to look at my calendar and figure out what is the replacement date going to be, and then we will be able to meet. That way I can continue to pour. You all don't miss out whatsoever. You are so welcome. I'm glad that it was helpful. I wish you all an incredible, incredible night. Make sure if you have friends and colleagues inside of the group that once the recording is posted, go ahead and tag them so that they can see it as well. And until next time, see you guys later. Thanks so much. Good night.